Okay, this lesson we're going to try out some media queries, and media queries are useful for responsive web design and for modern web design, where when the screen size changes, then you can also adjust and apply different styling properties. There's two different ways to design web pages. You can go mobile first perspective, and as the page resizes, then you can move the elements around to match the larger sizes, or you can design from a desktop point first, and that's how we used to always do it, is just from the desktop point of view and then trying to adjust for the smaller screen sizes. And more commonly, it's now being done with mobile first thinking, because you want your website to look great on mobile screens, and then you can always adjust as the screen size gets bigger, and there are some very large screens out there as well. So there's more information at the Mozilla Developer Network. So let's go into the project that we've been working on and open up the styling. And within the styling, we're going to make some selection of the image tag. And I'm going to update the size of the image depending on how much screen width we have. So the default image, so these are the default sizes, is going to have a width of 700 pixels. And also the default test1, the test1 class, the element with the test1 class will have a default background color, and we'll just set it to red. So we're going to adjust these as the screen sizes change. So do a quick refresh, and that's an awfully large image, so it doesn't quite fit properly when we're resizing the page. And also within the dev tools, you do have an option here to toggle device toolbar. So if you click that, that's going to open up this device toolbar where you can set and update the size. So you've got the pixel size, width, and height. You can also select various devices to see what the website will look like on those devices. So going back in, I'm just going to set it to the desktop, and opening the code, we'll make some adjustments to these elements as the screen size changes. So typically there's both on a screen that's less than or a screen that's wider than. So we'll give you an example of both of them using the @media screen, and then this is where you would set the maximum width size. So screens that are whatever the value is that we're going to enter in here, wide or less, are going to default to this. And if it's growing larger than if it's growing less than what the max width is that we're specifying, then it's going to readjust here. So this is what you could call a breakpoint. So set it at 820 pixels. And at 820 pixels and below, then we're going to have some new properties applied. And these are the defaults. So on a larger screen, if we're over 1080, then we're going to just have the defaults being applied. So this is not from a mobile first. From a mobile first, you'd start on the smaller screens, and then you'd set min widths. So let's set the image width to be 400 pixels, and we'll update the background to be blue. And let's do a refresh. And so now whenever we adjust the size, so the width is over here, and we set our breakpoint to be 1080. And once we hit the breakpoint, then those new properties are being applied to the element. Let's do one more. And you can set as many of these breakpoints as you need. So let's set another one that has a breakpoint of 600 pixels and set the width of the image to be 100% at 600 pixels. And I'll update the background to be green. Order also matters within the CSS file. So if we're setting the smaller screen size first, then the larger one is going to overwrite the smaller one. So if you do go out and if you see that it's not changing, then it could be something wrong with the order that the content is being added in the style sheet. So you have to go back in and make an update to that. And I'll just reorder this, put it at the bottom, so underneath this default. And now this should work. Let's try it. So now when we shrink under 600 pixels, then it does go green, then blue, and then as soon as we get over the 1080, it's going to go red. Using the dev tools is a good way to test. And our image essentially is going all responsive because it's just taking up 100% of the available space in the element on that screen resize. So you do need to have them within this order where you've got the defaults, and then if the screen is 1080, then it's going to hit this one. And if we place this above, then these values are going to overwrite these values. So we want to make sure that we do have the order of it progressively getting smaller on the screen size so that those new properties are overriding what these properties are being set at. So the order does matter, and it is important to keep it within this sequential order of sizes.